guys, welcome to my channel and thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you so much for all your support. I really appreciate that. So guys, in today's video I'll be showing you how to make a dashiki top and a trouser for a little girl. So I have this plain and pattern fabric. This is for the trouser, so I'll set this aside, and this colorful one is for the dashiki. So I already placed what I need for the front and the back together already. So how to know the fabric, the measurement of the fabric to place on fold is you measure from the middle of her neck to the length of where you want the sleeve to end. So you measure from the middle of the neck to the sleeve length, and what I need is 10 inches plus 1 inch sewing allowance. So that is how I got the fabric to place on fold. So I have 11 inches, and the length of the dashiki is 18 inches. So I have here 19 inches, 18 inches plus 1 inch sewing allowance. Then I have little bit excess that I will cut off. So now let's start cutting. For the neckline, I'll be using 2 inches by 2 inches. So for dashiki, you don't really need to have a wide neck. So I'll be using 2 inches by 2 inches for the front. So let me mark that out. 2 inches width and 2 inches depth. So the front of this dashiki will be having a slit. And for the back neckline, I'll be using 2 inches by 1 inch. So let me mark that. 2 inches by 1 inch. So let me curve it. So I'll curve the front neckline as well. I've curved it 1 inch for the back and 2 inches for the front. So 2 inches by 1 and 2 inches by 2 inches. So I'll come down by 1 inch here for the shoulder slope and connect it to these 2 inches. One inch. So from that 1 inch line, I'll place an armhole measurement. So the armhole that I'm working with is 9 inches divided by 2 is 4.5, which is here. But I'll be adding ease to that because this is a dashiki top. So I'll be adding 1.5 inches to 1.5, making it 6 inches. So this is it. You can add 2 inches. You can add depending on the size of the child you're making the dashiki for. So here I have 6 inches. So at this point, I'll come in by 1 inch. It all depends on what you want. If you want it to be more free, you can use ½ inch. If you want it to be less free, you can use 2 inches. It all depends on what you want. So I'll be coming in by 1 inch here. 1 inch. 1 inch. All the way down. So I've marked this out, and I'll make sure to notch this point. So I've given it a notch because it's very important. So let me mark the length. Let me mark the length, which is 18 inches plus 1 inch sewing allowance, 19 inches. I'll mark it. (19 inches). So I've marked out the length, the full length of the dashiki. So now, because the front will be having a slit, I'll cut out the back first and separate it from the front before slitting the front. So let me quickly do that. So cutting this off is totally up to you. You can leave it out, you can leave it there and just hem, but I want to sew on this side. So I cut it off, I shaped it like this. So now what I will do is to make the slits. For the slits, this is the front neckline. So let me remove the back. So this is the front neckline, the 2 inches. So I'll cut it off. now for the slits, I'll be using 3 inches. So I'll slit it up to that point. This will make it easy for the child to wear the dashiki. Remember, it does not have any zip. So here we have it, the front and the back. Very easy. So what I'll do now is to cut out facing for this, because finishing the neckline without facing is not going to be nice. You cannot finish the neckline of this dashiki with a bias strip. You need a facing. So I'll quickly cut that out. So the length of your facing should be at least 3 inches, 3 to 3.5 inches. So, and on this side, 3 inches to 4 inches is fine. Let me check. So I'll mark 4 inches here. Okay, so you place it properly, make sure it matches, and then cut out what you need. So let me quickly do that. So this is 3 inches. And this is my 4 inches. So I'll just curve it, make a curve, connect from here to here. You can make it into any shape you want. It's all up to you. So here I have the facing for the back. So I ran out of the pattern fabric and I'll be using this plain one for the front facing. So make sure that when you're placing the fabric that you have 3 inches from the slit. Remember that. So here I have 3 inches after the slit, 3 inches. So I'll cut that out now. So here I'll curve it from here to here, whichever way you want. It's all up to you. And remember to slit. So after that, I'll curve it from here to here. So here you have it, the front facing. So easy. Before sewing, I'll iron it so it will relax. So I'll set this aside to cut the trouser. So guys, for the trouser, this is a plain fabric. So the length of the trouser that I'm working with is 21 inches plus 1 inch sewing allowance. That is 22 inches. That's what I have here. So I'll start marking the lines. The hip line I'll be using is 5 inches. Measure this on the child that you're sewing for. So this is 5 inches. So for the crotch, and I'll be using 6 1/4. For the thigh line, I'll be coming down by 1 inch here. So I'll mark the hip measurement divided by 4. The hip measurement divided by 4 is 22 inches divided by 4 is 5 1/2. Five and a half. So connect it into a straight line. On the cross line, I'll be adding 1¼ inch, 1 inch and a quarter, 1¼ inch here, and I'll connect it to the hip line. This is the hip line. I'll connect from here to here. So on this thigh line, I'll place the thigh measurement divided by 2. The thigh measurement is 13 inches, divided by 2 is 6½. Six and a half. So I'll connect this to this. So the knee line is 12 inches. And the ankle line is 21 inches. So I'll get the midpoint. 7 inches divided by 2, 3½. So on this kind of trouser, this trouser is going to have a waistband. So I can decide to leave this measurement and use the, since I'll be adding elastic to the waist, I can decide to use the hip measurement, or you can also check the, you can also use the waist measurement. The waist measurement is 21 inches divided by 4 is 5¼ a quarter. This is optional because the trouser will have a waistband, but I'm just doing this. So you connect this to this hip line. Yeah. On this knee line, I'll be placing the round knee measurement. Measurement is 11 inches divided by 2 is 5½. So this is the middle point. Remember, this is 3½. So this is the midpoint. Now I'll place the round knee measurement, which is 5½. 11 inches divided by 2, which is 5½. So 5½ divided by 2 divided by 2. So this is where I'll place in the middle of the line. Can you see? I'll just place it here, and then place the 5½. I'll come to the ankle here. The round ankle measurement is 8 inches. 8 inches divided by 2 is 4 inches. So I'll place it like this, 2 in the middle and 2 here. So now I'll connect these lines. I'll connect this to this. So I've connected that. Now I'll add sewing allowance to all around 1 inch. ½ inch. I'll be adding ½ inch sewing allowance to this side. ½ inch, ½ inch. So I'll cut out the front.